Professor Titty here again, reporting on the coronavirus. Today's interview, I have a special guest. A member of the public wants to ask a few questions. One of the questions, which I already know, I will explain. The 6 people rule, made by Boris, is purely because he cannot stand being in the same room, the same house as his children. So anyway, let's speak to my guest. Hi. Yes, I just want to introduce myself today. My name is Prat Headcock. Professor Titty has let me take over today because I need to give some solid advice on the situation with the lockdown and the virus. Regarding this virus, if you do actually happen to see a piece of the virus coming your way in the street, any public place, please try and jump out the way. You will be perfectly safe if you try and dive to the ground, because the virus does not circulate above 1 feet. Second bit of advice, you may ask yourself the 6 people rule, but all children going back to school, and you may wonder why it's perfectly safe for them, but for the majority of the country, the 6 people rule applies. Reason being, which we will try and circulate this and get this on the shelves, there is actually pixie dust that stops the children from catching the virus. It doesn't stop them from getting cold, so you might find that your child has come home with a cold. But the virus, yes, Bill Gates has found a cure for children, and that's pixie dust. The other rule is hands, face, and space. So, do not take any recreational drugs like acid, because if you put your hands in front of your face, you will feel like you're going up in space. Another bit of advice regarding working from home. Yes, we understand that this may be quite hard, so we're trying to think of every kind of worker out there. So this bit of advice is directed for prostitutes. Yes, you may work from home. Yes, you may buy a little red light bulb from Wilco's and place it into the socket, either on your lamp or your ceiling, and put it on. And yes, it will be legal to have brothels all over the country. But have, bear this in mind, think that there may be a shortage on toilet roll. So things might get a little bit sticky. We all know that since March we've been advising that you must wash your hands. You must, when you sneeze or cough, hand over your mouth or cough in your armpit like this. Not advised to anyone with hairy armpits. That may be a little bit unhygienic, as some of the armpit hair may get tangled up in your teeth, depending on how long your armpit hair is. Lucky for me, I have no teeth. We do understand that from childhood, your parents may have been teaching you the basics of coughing and putting your hand over your mouth, but as proven, it shows that everyone, most people, the people who are sharing the virus, are dirty little buggers, clearly showing that they are not putting your hand over your mouth. This is why we have given that rule, because we are trying to educate you, we are trying to speak to you like you are 6 years old. Your mother and father may not have drummed it into you enough. So we, as the government, think this is very serious. Hands over your mouth, guys. That's all for today. So I want to pass you back to Professor Titty for one last bit of advice. Thank you, Mr. Prat. Headcock. Yes, as he says, I've got one last bit of advice and information for you regarding fines and the help that we want to give you. So, as you well know, we have borrowed £127 billion. We're not going to tell you where, because most of this money is in offshore accounts. But what we do want to offer you as a little bit of help is £500. And no, you won't have to pay that back yet. Also, Rishi Sunak is deciding to freeze benefits to help you all out. So, cut that short. We borrowed £127 billion. We borrowed. We are now offering you £500 to help you out, but we are freezing benefits to help pay back the £127 billion. One last message regarding test centres. You may ask who they are for. Well, if you are healthy, you can go get a test. If you are sick, you must stay at home and isolate. I hope that is quite explanatory for you. If you are healthy and you do not feel sick, go get a test. If you are sick, self-isolate. That's all for today. Tomorrow will be another video diary with my colleagues, Boris the Bastard and Prat, Headcock. So until then, stay safe, wash your hands.